Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. I'm your host, John. And this week, we're going to talk about some very important topics regarding electronic entertainment, video games, and the people that love to make them. I am joined this week by Rose.
Hi. You're joined by me.
Yes, this week you are on the podcast. This time you're not sitting on the sidelines. This time you're in it.
Yeah.
That's very good. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm also glad that Niall is here.
Hello. How are you? Hello. It's me. I'm here.
I am much better now that you are here.
I'm glad to hear that, John. Aw, that's so sweet.
So, I am very glad that we are doing this podcast. This past week has been very hectic for me, and I am glad that to have a nice, calm period, a little bit of an exhale, if you will. So I am going to take full advantage of this to, really, really have some fun with y'all. First off, I'm just gonna say, and I don't want to jinx it, because it's not 100% confirmed, but I went and saw an apartment recently, and it was a very nice apartment, and I am hoping, with all my hope, that they accept me. I'm sure they will. I have a pretty okay paying job. I have no criminal record to speak of. I think I'll be fine.
To speak of. Nothing they know of, anyway.
Nothing yet. Like, if you get the apartment, then you can start springboarding into some new and exciting things.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm gonna be counterfeiting, I'm gonna be growing weed, I'm gonna be... I'm just gonna start...
growing weed.
Yeah, I'm gonna start throwing cocaine out the window just to, like, see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll probably, like, start selling, like, illegal pets out of there. Like, I'll steal monkeys.
Those are real, though.
I'll steal monkeys from the zoo.
I had a friend who bought, what was it? They bought, like, some sort of weird... They bought, like, a kangaroo from someone who ran something like that.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
Okay.
no. They ended up bringing the kangaroo to, like, protective services, stuff like that, or whatever. But they bought a kangaroo.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well.
How do you just buy a kangaroo?
$300?
Okay.
That seems very cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they bought it, and then they had to, like, there were pictures of it. It had a diaper.
I would hope so.
It was on the kitchen table. It was really... I'll find some pictures for y'all later. That was a trip.
Thank you.
Did they have any, boxing gloves for him?
I wish. It was just a baby. They would just fall off anyway, probably. Unless they get, like, when they make, like, the little baby gamer controllers? Yeah, it's like they do that for boxing glove. Oh, that sounds really good, actually.
Boxing gloves never punched.
Oh,
fuck off. God.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Are you sure that it was an actual kangaroo, or was it like a wallaby, maybe?
It was a kangaroo, because they had to put it in a little pouch and stuff like that to simulate it being in.
Jeez, it was that young?
It was an orphan, apparently. So,
wow.
But they also were selling it out of an apartment. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Anyway, for real, I am not actually doing that. If for some reason the apartment people, if for some reason the apartment people listen to this podcast, I'm not planning on doing that. I am planning on sitting in my room and watching anime, and that's probably it. So that's the only thing you have to worry about for me, and I will be watching it on Crunchyroll.com. So don't worry about that, okay?
Yeah, you don't need to be like the subject of a tweet thread or something from anyone.
Oh no, not a tweet thread. Can't let this guy live here. Someone wrote a call-out post about him for not properly sourcing from Pixiv. I would do that. I wouldn't steal people's art. But still, that's besides the point. It's a nice thing. The only thing that was a pain in the ass, which is something I'm still going to have to keep putting up with, is that it's a 2-hour drive there and a 2-hour drive back.
Oh.
So I had to drive 4 hours twice this week.
Well.
And I didn't like it.
When you moved last time, you were able to do everything in one go, weren't you?
Yes, I will probably be able to do that again. We're gonna have to figure it out, but it shouldn't be that hard. Okay. I think the hardest part of the whole thing is going to be getting it up the flight of stairs. It's kind of a thin flight of stairs. That's the only thing I'm a little worried about, but we'll figure that out. And if anything gets scuffed up, well, who cares?
Yeah,
that's fine. So yeah, that's the nice thing I guess I have going for me. I think Niall or someone else wrote poop memes on the list of things that I'm supposed to talk about, which I'm not going to do. Who wrote poop memes?
It wasn't me.
It was probably the Week of Content champion.
Oh. Because Michael's not on this week. He's tired.
Good night, Michael.
So he's sitting on the sidelines, which I'm not talking shit about him taking time off. You do what you gotta do. But I am talking shit about him popping into our podcast conversation topics document and writing slander.
Is that
instead
slander?
Of just taking some a little bit.
Like, but against who?
Yeah, he's not
me,
saying...
I guess.
He's not saying you're a poop meme or something like that.
Yeah.
He's implying it.
Damn.
He's implying it.
You know Michael better than I. I'll trust you on this.
I guess so.
Are you saying that, like, we need to go make John Machonsky poop memes or something?
Oh.
No, like... I'm not. That's the exact opposite of what I'm saying.
I'll be honest, that just sounds like something y'all would do anyway.
I think there's got to be at least one of those, right?
Yeah. There's sounds like something that Mike would do that I would be extremely angry at him for doing.
There was quite literally a John Machonsky poop meme when you kept talking about the fucking Joker having diarrhea. So, like, I mean...
Well, that is true.
That's true.
It's still something to think about. Like, who knows what would happen if that occurred,
Yeah, I'm sure.
I wonder, like... It used to be that if you put in "what if the Joker had diarrhea" in Google, John would be the first result. I wonder if that's still...
You know what? Now I'm going to go on a crazy limb here and say probably.
See, I'm worried that it would be gone, though, because he got banned from Twitter for threatening Mike.
Oh, no.
Let me see.
All right, here, hang
on.
I typed in "what if the Joker had diarrhea."
There it is. There's John Machonsky #1.
Well, I typed in "what if the Joker had diarrhea," and the first thing that came up was from the Impractical Jokers wiki.
What?
That's #2 for me.
Wow.
#1 is it recognizes that that you made that tweet on Google's Irish page, but it's from your banned account, so it doesn't actually lead to anything if you click it. So that's great.
We're seeing like filtered media in action right now. Niall gets to see the truth, and John sees a lie.
The fifth one that I'm seeing is someone posting a question on petcoach.co asking why their dog has diarrhea every morning. So,
I'm getting a lot of diarrhea fan fiction here.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's ease this back onto the road. Let's get back on it. So I've been pretty busy this week. So I couldn't really play any games the whole week, right up until the end, because I got a little present in my email box. A little bright shining star. I got the Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, bestowed onto me by Sega of America.
Thanks, Sega.
Thank you, Sega. I'm going to review that game, and if it fucking sucks, I will say so. But
it's probably not going to fucking suck.
It probably won't. It probably won't. I've only played a little bit of it. I just got to chapter 3.
Oh, nice.
So I'm not like super far. But it's interesting. So I'm kind of surprised at how like how different it is compared to Zero and Kiwami.
Mm-hmm.
So for context, for people who may not have listened to previous podcasts or who don't know my history with the Yakuza series, the first one that I played was 4, I want to say.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I played all the way through 4. I played most of 0. I played all the way through Kiwami, and I own 5 because it was a PS Plus game, but I can't physically play it. And I'll explain that why that is. So for some reason, I don't have a PS3 controller. I just have a PS4 controller because when I bought my PS3, the PS3 controller that it came with is broken, and I just didn't get a new one because I'm a dumbass. So what I ended up doing is just plugging in a PS4 controller and using it because it works.
Yeah, that's what I
works.
do for mine.
For some reason, Yakuza 5 has problems using the PS4 controller. Like,
really?
A lot of stuff early on in Yakuza 5 involves Kiryu driving.
Yeah.
And it doesn't pick up on like the pressure that you push on the PS4 controller, like for the R2 for the trigger.
Yeah, that was rough, but I just sort of ignored it.
I mean, maybe I'm just getting too hung up on some of the like side missions, and maybe I just got to ignore that. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of frustrating, and we'll see. I'm probably just gonna pick up a cheap PS3 controller so I can play through it because I'm gonna play through it no matter what. Like, even if I play through it after I play through 6, I still want to see the story. I still want to have the side stories, and there's a bunch of different characters in there that aren't Kiryu, so I still want to see how their stories shake out.
I've also been playing 5, but I just sort of ignored that, I guess. Right now, I'm playing it gradually. I've done every single side thing in Kiryu's route, which is the first route of the game. And you're right that the pressure sensitivity thing is very annoying. Somehow I still won everything because I hate the DualShock 3. That's my hot take.
Yeah, the DualShock 3 isn't great.
I think it's one of the worst controllers. It feels like it's going to break in your hand.
Yep.
It's absolutely just the like build quality.
It's just bad.
Yes.
It's basically the same thing as the DualShock 2, but like slightly bigger. But it feels like it's
like paper mache.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to fall apart in your hands. It's really weird.
I've had one fall apart in my hands.
Yeah, I remember like when I first got a 360 and then like going back to a PS3 after having played a 360 for a while, and you're holding that controller and it feels like nothing.
Yeah.
Like you could just snap it if you wanted to. It's bad.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely. Like I have, so the only PS3 game I ever played was Demon's Souls in like 2013.
Okay.
So that was way after I'd been playing an Xbox thing, and I was like, man, the DualShock sucks. And then I didn't touch a DualShock until last year when I started playing Drakengard. And I was like, oh, I'll try using the DualShock 3. And then I picked it up again, and I was like, oh, God, it is as bad as I remember. Oh.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing they let you do the DualShock 4 thing. I wish you could do more, like not have to have it plugged in or something, but...
Oh, no, you can... use it if it's not plugged in. You just have to kind of go do like an around. Yeah, you have to like sync it up as a Bluetooth device.
Oh,
but it totally works.
Oh, cool.
I do think there is some slight latency issues with it though. Like it's a little tiny bit off. But if you're playing something that you don't really have to worry about that too much, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, like Yakuza would probably be fine.
Exactly, yeah. Like that's what I use to like play through Yakuza 4 cuz it's fine for Yakuza 4. It's just not it just doesn't work for 5. But yeah, no, so Yakuza 6.
Yeah. Yeah, the real game that you were talking about.
Yeah, the actual new game. So so far, Kiryu has gotten much older. He had to go to prison for 3 years.
Again.
Because after I won't to not spoil you. After the events of Yakuza 5, he kind of wants to leave all traces of the Tojo clan behind him. He wants to just be like, look, I'm done. That's not me anymore. So instead of like trying to fight, trying to keep himself like in the limelight, especially now that Haruka is trying to start her own life, he just went to prison just to let things blow over.
Mm-hmm.
While he's in prison, though, Haruka is trying to run... Now, it's originally the Sunshine Orphanage, but I think they redid the translation, so now it's the Morning Glory Orphanage.
Huh.
Which is a little confusing, especially because I think Sunshine Orphanage is 100% funnier.
Yeah.
Like, I love calling like Sunshine Orphanage, this fucking orphanage that like glowering Kazuma Kiryu runs. Like, oh, I loved it.
With his Hawaiian shirt on the... Oh.
Yeah, with his Hawaiian shirt. I love Kiryu so much. So, while he's in prison, Haruka runs away from Morning Glory Orphanage, and nobody hears from her, and Kiryu comes back to the orphanage and is like, where is she? And he ends up having to go back to Kamurocho to look for her, as he's trying to find Akiyama, because he's like, oh, I bet Akiyama knows where Haruka is. And he just falls back into it. He gets embroiled in... There's fighting going on between the Tojo clan and a Chinese triad, because Chinatown got like someone set a fire in Chinatown, and they blame the Tojo clan, so they're fighting, and Kiryu's just trying to find Haruka. Shit just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and then eventually it turns out Haruka got hit by a car.
Oh no!
She left a child. You find out that it's her kid. So Kiryu's trying to figure out who could have done this to Haruka, and who's the father of the child, and he's got to take care of the kid, and there's just all this shit. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like, the first 2 chapters are pretty much just linear. Mm-hmm. There aren't even really that many sub-stories. There were maybe, 3 sub-stories that I ran into during those first 2 chapters, and one of them was pretty funny. I was laughing my ass off at it. The first sub-story that you get is getting introduced to the online chat rooms. Mm-hmm. Where it's literally like Kiryu going on a cam site and watching a porn star stripping, and it is very funny because you're sitting there in the chat room, and part of it is just straight up oh yeah, no, this is this porn star stripping and all that, but the chat room aspect of it is so funny. They have the most hilarious usernames in there. My favorite one is Divorced 7 Times. There's just someone in there named Divorced 7 Times. And they're just chatting it up, and then the mini game is that you have to type in as Kiryu, you have to type in a response, and the responses are always so fucking stupid. Kiryu would just be please boobs. You just have to type in really quick on the it's just a button combination, and it's very funny. It's very funny. And then the other one that I ran into was just this little girl being oh, I'm a big fan of Haruka, and you're sitting there talking to her about it, and you want to get her a piece of Haruka memorabilia, and that's the sub-story. But other than that, not really any sub-stories of the first little bit, so I can't really say, oh, these were really funny or anything. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
You haven't run into any of the New Japan wrestlers yet? Not yet?
So I did, actually. I was about to say, they introduced something else. They introduced something else that's a little different. Mm-hmm. I'm not 100% sure how it all works because I just got it last time I played, but there's this app that you get on your phone called Troubler. It's spelled without the E, obviously. And And every once in a while, you get a text message basically that says, "Oh, there's this small like event going on that you have to go help someone with." Like the first one I got was just, "Oh, there's a woman lying on the ground and she's sick," and you walk up to her and all it says is it just says, go get me an energy drink," and then you have 5 minutes to go run to a convenience store, get an energy drink, and hand it to her, and that's it. But when they introduce that concept to you, like, I hope I get his name right, Okada.
Yes.
Yeah, Okada, the Rainmaker guy. He's there for like a second, and he's introduced as the leader of some like justice coalition who has 3,000 members, and they're like trying to save Kamurocho from the gangs. So he's the leader of like a justice gang, I guess.
Nice.
He was there for like 5 seconds, but I think, if he's the leader of something like that, I'm sure he'll be involved in the story, or at the very least in that, like, part of the story. And, like, I've seen videos already online of, like, people fighting him and stuff, so I don't know how that comes up. Maybe he, like, tests your might to, like, join the division or whatever, but, he's there, and he, like, they call him Rainmaker. Like, he comes out and they're just like, Rainmaker! Like, it's him. It's Okada. Trying to think. I mean, there's all the different mini games you can do. There's karaoke. Club Sega has more games than ever. It has pretty much all of the games from Zero. So it has Space Harrier, of course. It has, you know how much I love Space Harrier. They have Fantasy Zone, Hang On, Outrun, and then they added 2 new games. They added Puyo Puyo, which I might need someone to correct me on, but I'm like 90% sure they just cut out the Puyo Puyo from Puyo Puyo Tetris, because it's the same music, the same like characters. It's just all the Puyo characters.
I'd believe that.
And yeah, I think they just cut the Puyo out of Puyo Puyo Tetris and threw that in there. So if you have Puyo Puyo Tetris, just play that. And then they added Virtua Fighter 5 Last Round, which is legitimately the full version of that game.
That's so wild.
The full arcade version of that game, yeah.
That's so good.
It's really good. And both Puyo Puyo and Virtua Fighter have versus mode built into the main menu of Yakuza 6. So you can just start up Yakuza 6 and play Puyo Puyo or Virtua Fighter with somebody.
Good.
Like, I would not be surprised if, like, people who play Virtua Fighter competitively end up buying copies of Yakuza 6 just so they can have that game, like, on PS4. Unless that's already on PS4. Is it?
I don't think so.
I bet not. That doesn't sound like something that would be there.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I could see that happening.
You know what I'm sad isn't in Yakuza 6, probably, because I've been playing 5? Taiko Drum Master.
Yeah, it's not from what I've seen.
I'd assumed not. Fuck. That owns. When I found out that it was in Taiko Drum Master is in a Yakuza game, and also Kiryu just keeps yelling alongside it, is like,
it's very
man.
Good. It's very good. Like, I started that game up. I went around, did a couple of story things, and I was like, all right, I need to go set that high score for Space Harrier real quick. It's like boom, boom, boom. Sang karaoke, did some of the new songs. Love it.
How are the new songs? Really good.
They're very good. There's one where it's just Kiryu, like, singing a tropical song and just hanging out on a boat. It's very good.
Did you see fucking Butterfly? Good. The Butterfly one? Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
That one's
very good.
Kiryu rapping.
Very good. It's very good. But yes, so far I have a pretty positive response to Yakuza 6. There are a couple of things that are a little weird. So they cut down the combat to only one style. It's not the different styles from Zero and Kiwami. You just fight like a very standard Kiryu combat. It's not as fun, honestly. The one thing that I will commend is that there's no, like, loading or cutscenes in between combat. if thugs walk up to you, like if they notice you, as soon as you get close, like this, like you can just start punching them, like immediately. But I don't know, I'm not having as much fun with the combat as I did when there were all the different styles.
Yeah, that's what it was like when I was going back to 4 and 5 and Dead Souls, I guess, to an extent. It was like, oh yeah, right, Kiryu is just dragon style.
Yeah.
Akiyama is just kicks, and it was like,
yeah, it's not as fun. And the upgrade system is a little more confusing. Instead of just like getting points and like filling in the circles, it's more they just give you different types of experience, and you have to just like line them up to different upgrades. Like it'll be like, oh, you ate at this restaurant, you get 5 red, 10 green, 20 purple, and then you'll go into the upgrades menu and it's like, oh, this upgrade costs 20 red and 5 blue, and then you spend that, and it's not as elegant, I don't think. But it's not really that bad either. It's just kind of like, oh, whatever, I'll just buy this, and this. It's fine. This is also the first game that's using the new, I think it's called the Dragon Engine. But there's a little bit of wonkiness in some of the engine stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's pretty funny though. Like you can like slam yourself into racks at the convenience store and they'll just explode.
Good.
And I wasn't prepared for it because I started doing that just thinking it would be funny, but like as I started to do it, the guy at the cash register yelled at me and told me to never come back, so that was pretty funny.
God. Did you lose the ability to go back into that store?
I went back there. It was fine. Okay. It was very funny though. It was funny in the moment.
Because I think it would be like pretty good if you could up the difficulty in that game by just making a mess in the stores. Just getting kicked out. You can't buy
any upgrades at all. Yeah.
Kiryu is banned from like, Kamurocho, like everywhere.
Jeez. But yeah, that's basically my reaction to it so far. Oh, they also added one other thing that they added a first-person view.
Mm-hmm. Like proper, not just the usual thing.
Yeah, like they usually have the thing where you can just stand still and look, but you can actually walk around now in first-person view. And so far, I haven't really had too much of a reason to do it other than just looking around. But the graphics are so much better. It is almost worth it every once in a while to just zoom in and take a look around and be like, ah, yes, this is Kamurocho. This is the city that I love so much. And they really take it in because the graphics upgrade is pretty substantial, and it's really cool to look around and see that city the way it is now. But yeah, that's how I feel about it so far. I'll talk about it more as we go.
Yeah.
But one thing I did want to point out real quick, which is kind of funny, kind of messed up, but I hope that nothing too major came of it, was now the game was supposed to be out this month. Mm-hmm. They delayed it to next month, and to make up for it, or my theory is actually that they delayed the game specifically just so they could do this. They put a demo out for 6. And it was supposed to be just the first chapter, and they were going to let you run around Kamurocho a little bit just so you can do the mini games. But something went wrong with the demo process. The demo, like they explicitly said when they put the demo out, oh, this is going to be the same size as the full game. It's going to be like 35 gigs. Turns out the reason why that is because it was the full game. The full complete game. And it just had a barrier for the first chapter that it wasn't going to let you keep going. And I can't tell you how you do it. It might have just let you, but the demo just let you keep playing. And people were just kind of like, oh, this is the full game. I'm playing the full game right now. And they did that. And I mean, they pulled the demo pretty quickly. As like, I feel like as soon as I found out that that was possible, the demo was pulled. But yeah, they accidentally released the full game for free, basically.
Yeah, it sounds like it was only like a very small handful of people that got it, but yeah, like by the time I'd heard about it, it was taken down, so I was disappointed. But still, like, that's a pretty big screw up on Sega's part. And yeah, it sounds like it was like there wasn't really anything special you had to do. It would just let you keep playing. So.
Well, you know, I mean, I don't think it's gonna make like a huge dent in the sales.
No,
like I saw a bunch of people were like really scared that oh, this is gonna make it so Yakuza Kiwami 2 and the Fist of the North Star game don't come out here. Like, I highly doubt that. Like, I saw some people being like, oh, I bought 6 copies of the game, so they'll absolutely be sure to put out Kiwami 2, and it's like, don't do that. You're fine. Just keep the pre-order that you had, or, you know, just buy the game or support it however you wanna. It's not gonna make that much of a difference. They pulled the demo. It'll be okay. I mean, you know, as, like, unless I'm absolutely wrong and a shit ton of people very quickly did that, I don't know.
I'm sure we'll be fine. Look, I mean, like, every single Yakuza game except for the Samurai one, for a lot of reasons, I think, has come out in America. And, like, I would already say, like, I didn't expect the Fist of the North Star game to come out over here. I would be happy if it did. But a lot of games like that have just straight up not come out over here, because Fist of the North Star is not that big over here comparatively to a lot of other stuff like JoJo and stuff.
See, well, for one thing, Kiwami 2 it's gonna come out here.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
In interviews, Sega people have said, oh, we made Kiwami 2 because Zero and Kiwami sold so well in the US. So, you know. And secondly, I feel like because Zero and Kiwami sold the way that they did, like, especially how much attention Zero got, I think the Fist of the North Star game has a shot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too surprised if they did end up saying no, but I feel like if the marketing was very heavily just by the people that made Yakuza 0 or something like that, then maybe, like, if they were based, like, if the marketing was just like, this is a Yakuza game, like, buy it because it's a Yakuza game,
yeah,
then, you know, it'll have a shot. But yeah, Yakuza 6, I'll talk about it more next week. Good. Niall, you've been up to some newer games as well. What have you been playing?
What was it? Towards the end of 2016, I think it came. Or no, when did it come out? I played it towards the end of 2016. The first season of Orwell, and I really liked that game a lot. In fact, some people might say it was the second best game of that year, and they'd be right. Maybe. But the second season just came out, and so this time, where the first one was kind of about social media and how people maybe share more than they think they share on social media. This second season is focusing more on sort of the misspread of information through social media and through websites that purport to be news websites, but maybe aren't really all that trustworthy. And, you know, given the culture, I guess, that we're living in right now, the moment in time we're living in, that's a pretty fine line to thread. So I was kind of a little skeptical of how they'd handle this new season. And those first few minutes of the new season which is called Ignorance is Strength. They were kind of heavy-handed, and I was kind of worried that this was going to be a real mess. But as it went on, I think they're pulling back on it in a way that is maybe going to work as well as the first season. I'm still not all the way sold on it. So, like, for people who don't know, you're basically playing as... It's basically like the CIA agent watching what you do on the internet meme, and you're playing the CIA agent, basically. You're, like, taking snippets of things from articles about people, trying to find information on them, and you're feeding it into this database and then getting feedback from your like supervisors or whatever, telling you, do this, look for information on this, so that they can determine if these people are dangerous or whatever. But like the way it sort of highlights the things you can add can sometimes be misleading. Sometimes you'll have conflicts in things where you'll have two data chunks that tell you, like, this person says they were here at this point, and this person also says that they were here at the same time. So which one, like, with the evidence, which one do you think is the right one? So it's kind of, you're balancing that, but also it'll be like, it might give you like a line in an article you're reading where, oh, this person was accused of murder, but they were found totally innocent. Like, it might be the news snippet, but the part that gets highlighted for you to add might be just, this person was accused of murder. So it's like you have to be like conscious of everything you're picking out to add, because once you add it, it can't be removed, and that's what I guess your commanders or whatever are seeing. So it's kind of trying to be a commentary on how easily things get spun on the internet and how easily conspiracies and misinformation is being spread. I don't know that I like it as much as I liked the first season, but by the time I had played the first season, it was all finished. Right now, there's only the one episode out. The second is coming out, I think this Thursday or Friday, so I'm interested to see where it goes. But yeah, like I'm not quite as on board with it as I was on the first season.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know it was episodic. Like I when you were talking about it during Game of the Year, I was like, oh, that sounds cool. And I looked it up, and for some reason it didn't even register to me then, probably because it was all out.
Yeah.
And at that point you just buy it. But I was like, I did not know it was episodic. Yeah. That's interesting. That's, Does it read like it is episodic, like the way Life is Strange did, for example? Was it felt like it was being very developed in the moment? They were adjusting to certain criticisms and stuff like that. Does it feel like that for this game?
It kind of does, but it feels like it's kind of hard to know how much they're really going to adjust to feedback or whatever, because it is so, like, it seems like it would have to tie into season one. Like, it's already kind of making references to the bombings, which were the like main storyline of season one. So it seems like they're trying to build this consistent world. So I don't know how much they're going to actually, take on feedback. I am glad that they're, like, it almost feels like through the episode they kind of realized, oh, we need to kind of maybe pump the brakes a little on this so that we're not going full over the top on it. But there are very clear, like, real world analogs that are maybe not so great. Like, the main, like, person you're after is very clearly like this weird kind of almost this Alex Jones-esque figure who is like spreading misinformation about shadow governments and stuff like this on his weird blog. And yeah, I'm not sure they're going to have room to hold back on that stuff if criticism comes in heavy on it, but right now it doesn't seem like they are being super heavily criticized for it. I don't know. It just kind of, I have enough faith in the first season that they'll probably, or that they've earned the benefit of the doubt, but there is still that nagging feeling in my head that, like, I'm not quite sure they're going to pull this together.
See, there's a part of me that's like, alright, but at the same time, the way that the world is these days, I almost want to ask, like, are you sure that it's being too heavy-handed? Because it's like, these days, it's almost impossible to not be too heavy-handed.
Yeah, I feel like maybe, like, those first couple articles you read by that dude are straight up just like, this reads like somebody went to InfoWars and was like, how do we make the most on-the-nose parody of this while still trying to not make it comedic? You know, like, I feel like they're trying to, or they tried initially to set the tone so that you know who these people are and you know who these people are supposed to be, like, lampooning or whatever, or based off of. But yeah, it is in parts very heavy-handed still. So it you know, I think maybe it's good that it is so heavy-handed because they are trying to make a statement, but I think there's such thing as being so upfront with your statement that you kind of have nothing else to say. It's very
sure, like just pointing and going, look at this, am I right? As opposed to like, well, this is what's fucked up about this.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like right now, is like,
okay,
like, this is a thing that we have to deal with. Isn't that wild? Like, it's not positing any kind of solutions yet, but it is still just the first episode of, I think, 5, so there's plenty of time for it to pick back up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because that's something that I have more of an issue with, is less that, like, oh man, isn't this wacky? Like, it's more like, oh, hey, actually say something. Don't just be like, life, that's crazy. Like, you know, do something. Like, say something about it. Like, we live in this world already. We're dealing with it. We don't have to have someone who's probably less affected by it be like, oh, wow. That's crazy, you know, like, come on.
Yeah, that's kind of my worry for it. But, you know, like I said, I have enough faith in that development team that they might pull it together, and I hope they do, because I still really like that first season.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it gets better for you.
Rose, have you been playing anything newer?
Newer, yes. Someone got me into The Breach.
Okay.
Which I don't think that came out last week when we did the podcast. It's a mech game.
No, it came out like within the past week.
Yeah, it's a mech game by the FTL people. It's, how do I describe? If you've ever played a Fire Emblem game, there's like moves you can use in Fire Emblem to knock units back on like a grid. It's a grid-based game, and it's all about like managing enemy placement. Basically, like, it's like a post-apocalyptic scenario. You play as a time traveler who controls a mech, a cannon, and like an artillery thing. And it's basically just like mini Fire Emblem, where you're like moving the unit around, having them do their move, and then it's the enemy's turn. The turn-based strategy. But it's like really complex and punishing, I guess, is the word I would say. Basically, you're gonna lose like a lot, and it's very roguelike-y like FTL, but instead of being like FTL where you just start out with a new ship every time, you actually get to bring back one of your pilots who controls one of the mechs with all of their stats and everything every time you die. So you at least have like a decent chunk of progress to start each new run. So that really helps make it feel at least not like bashing your head against a wall over and over again. Like, you're making some progress. And it's fun. So far I like it not as much as FTL, but I feel like when I get to like the end game, it'll be a lot better than FTL, because I don't know if y'all played FTL, but the ending to FTL fucking sucks. Like,
I only played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, FTL was pretty fun, if not largely samey. I think this one has a lot more going for it, because it has like, on this map you have to protect rockets that are going to go up into space, for example. So then like your map control isn't just, I have to protect the cities on the map. It's, I have to protect the rocket launches, but also when the rockets launch at the end of this turn, they're going to kill every enemy near it. So like, let me set it up so they're all placed like that and stuff like that. And it becomes like a really fun game that way. Like, it's not just like, I'm going to control this unit to do this move. I'm going to, will this move put this monster in this spot that then like my cannon will be able to then knock it also over into the water where it will just die instantly. That's fun. I don't know. I've only played like 3 hours of it. But I just beat the first island. So I recommend it if you're into that sort of game, like strategy games, I guess. I'm interested to see how much it opens up, because it's kind of like how like roguelikes or roguelikes like that do, where the more you do certain objectives and stuff like that, it unlocks more and more that you can choose to do. Like I just unlocked like, now I start every time with this special perk and stuff like that. Roguelikes, you know how they work. They're video games.
Yes.
I like them sometimes. But yeah, other than that game, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII.
Great. Okay.
So, hey, have either of you played Final Fantasy VII?
Uh-huh.
Shitty fucking game. I love it. It's so bad. I love it.
It's aged in a way that it's aged.
It's sublime.
God.
So, John, how much do you know about Final Fantasy VII? Because the thing that I find is that people have a weird idea of what Final Fantasy VII is, as opposed to what it actually is.
I don't know that much. I know that Cloud is is at least presented as the like standard emo pretty boy. I know that he's kind of more of a doof in that game.
Oh yeah,
to some extent. I know like the most of the party members. Like I don't know them, but I know like there's Barrett and Tifa and Eris and Red 13 and Vincent.
Yeah,
and that's who I know off the top. Yuffie.
Yeah,
Yuffie, yeah,
you got it.
That's everybody.
Cat She. It's also.
I don't remember that character. I don't remember that character.
Sid, yeah, Sid. Who could forget Sid?
I mean, I know there's a Sid in every Final Fantasy.
Yeah, this Sid is a dude with blonde hair who's like chain smoking all the time, and also he just randomly is also a dragoon.
I know Sephiroth. I know some of the music. I know the Genova song is very good. That's what I know. That's kind of all I know.
John, did you know that 1 hour and a half into the game, they make Cloud Strife dress up like a girl?
Is it that early?
Yes,
I knew it was
it is
I knew
that
it was
early
game, but I did not know
you
it was only...
finish the tutorial and it goes right into that.
God, I thought it was like 4 or 5 hours at least.
Nope.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So I did know that. I know it because of the discourse about it.
Oh, who cares about the discourse? It's amazing. All right, so like, you literally get to do this mini game, John, where you're pretending to be this wife for this horrible man. You get to go around town and solve all of these incredibly convoluted side quests in order to make Cloud into the prettiest girl.
Yeah.
And
you
then
can go to a love hotel and Cloud can get fucked by some dudes, and that's a really uncomfortable scene, and it's not good.
It's not good, and I'm very excited to see how they translate it in the Final Fantasy VII.
Tastefully, I bet.
Yeah. The most impressive thing about it is actually you can like skip almost all of it to the point where it's just like, all right, that was weird. Anyways, John, Final Fantasy VII. Do you know who the main antagonist of Final Fantasy VII is for the first like few hours?
No, I just know Sephiroth.
It's a bald man who smokes a cigar and has a beard, and his name is President Shinra.
Okay.
And
that's right, yes.
And then you break into his building to rescue Aerith. And just to get more into more discourse, they were going to make Aerith fuck Red 13.
Huh.
Yep.
That's and you save them both, and then you go upstairs, and then everyone's dead, and Sephiroth killed President Shinra with his sword. And then you have to fight his son, who comes out of a helicopter. And his son is named Rufus. His guard dog named Dark Nation. And he stupid. He has Rufus's special ability is he has a shotgun, and he just shoots you every 5 seconds.
Okay, so I can understand. Okay, so. This is gonna sound weird. Weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could, from what you're telling me, I would understand why people today would like this game, because I feel like they would play this game and they would be like, "This is stupid as fuck," but I can like laugh at it. I do not understand how like teenagers in like the late 90s, early 2000s liked this. What the fuck?
Because it's really edgy.
It is really edgy. Like, it's like I'm just at the time you have to consider that there were no 3D games. Really, like that was one of the first 3D games, and like you get to like follow blood trails up like Shinra Tower, weird. And then you see like a dude with a sword in him, and it's like whoa. Listen, John. Final Fantasy VII is incredible, is what I'm getting at. And the thing about Final Fantasy VII is people unironically and uncritically to this day say that it is like one of the best games ever made. And I don't think those people know what Final Fantasy VII is. I also think that those people played like Disc 1. Because after Disc 1, John, you go to a casino. There are mini games. Okay. You go to a casino. That's where you meet Katshi, is how it's pronounced. It's Kate Sith also. Kate Sith is on top of a fucking giant, like, stuffed animal weird creature. That just joins your party because... And then, like, all the while, they're like, Sephiroth's going to destroy the entire planet.
There's a meteor.
With meteor. Fucking materia.
Yep.
The life stream. There's mini games where Cloud rides a snowboard, sorry.
I was gonna say, I know about the snowboard.
Do you know about the mini game where Cloud has to slap a man over and over again?
No.
Do you know about the minigame where Cloud has to perform CPR on a poor woman who's collapsed?
No.
Do you know about the one where Cloud has to compete in a squat off? Where you got to do squats against a bodybuilder to win a wig?
This game sounds stupid as fuck.
It's so really stupid.
Good.
I'm not sure if you're selling me on it or making me not want to play it.
There's like there's this scene in the game where they all live in like an artificial city basically. And they live on these plates.
Midgar.
Yeah, they live on these plates, and people live on the lower plates and the upper plates. Shinra frames Cloud's organization Avalanche by smashing one of the plates, the upper plates, into the lower plates, and they kill all the people who are on the lower plates, who are poor people. And right after that happens, everyone's like, no, they're all dead. How could this happen? And Cloud walks off to Brood, but because it's an RPG where you control the characters and they go around and there are random encounters, you then walk like 5 steps and all of a sudden a gigantic house appears as like a random encounter, and the house starts firing missiles at you, and when you examine the house it says that its name is Hell House, and then all of a sudden a gigantic clown bursts out and uses the house as its body and starts firing chain guns at you.
It's a really good game, John.
It's really good, John.
I feel exhausted just hearing
It's
this.
such
like,
a tonal,
holy shit.
like the way I would describe it is like Whiplash the game. Like there is like
Yes.
they constantly present like these really depressing like storyline things that you would expect out of like Final Fantasy 13 or something like that, where it's like this is very dramatic, and then all of a sudden it'll be like, anyways, now I don't know, Tifa's like, Cloud, why do you think that Aerith is prettier than me? And then you have to watch Tifa slowly walk up to Aerith and start crying.
Or you get thrown into like the desert jail, and then it's like, okay,
jail.
we'll let you out, but to get out, you have to win a chocobo race.
You can breed the chocobos, and John, if you breed a golden chocobo, you get Knights of the Round, which is a summon animation that takes like 3 minutes, but it one-shots like everything in the game.
Yeah, I've seen that animation, and it is way too much.
That animation is so good, and I wanted to say that one of the best things Final Fantasy XIV ever did is they made that a boss fight, and they literally have them do that. It's so good. But yeah, Cloud Strife is always described as like a fucking like edgelord because of Advent Children and stuff like that. He is not that at all in the video game.
I mean, I've seen screenshots of him saying "Let's mosey."
Yeah.
I've seen multiple images of him just like sitting in a wheelchair for some reason. Like
that's because when he's lost his mind and he's on the boat, he's lost his mind, so he has to be in a wheelchair.
Oh no.
John, the localization for Final Fantasy VII is infamously one of the worst localizations, quote unquote.
It's very good.
Like, I actually think it's amazing. I think it's like one of the best ever because it is like perfectly of its era. It is so incredible. Like, how do I like? They're just like, okay. You can go into a restaurant in that game and order Korean barbecue.
Huh.
It's called Korean barbecue. And nobody says anything. And there's stuff like that all the time. Everyone's like, oh, I wish I had a pizza right now. And it's like, okay.
A pizza, from Italy.
Anyways, now I'm going to go fight over here with my Buster Sword. Yeah.
My uncle's from Midgard, but my mom's from Toronto.
Yeah, they just say things too. It's just, listen, the best part of that game for me is you can name all of the characters because it's an old Final Fantasy game.
Yes.
I named Barrett Gun all lowercase, and that's really good because everyone's always worried about Gun. And I named Red 13. When you talk to him, he says, they call me Red 13, but I don't care what you call me. So I named him Blue 20. And then I named Cloud Strife Thompson because I thought that was funny that his name is Thompson.
Thompson.
It's Thompson. No, Thompson.
Thompson.
I don't even listen. Final Fantasy VII, one of the greatest games ever made. Not for the reasons anyone would say.
Exactly.
It is.
Oh boy.
If you are ever fascinated in what video games were like when they were first going to 3D, I think that's the best one ever, probably. It's like, look at all these gimmicks we came up with because it's in 3D. Look at how awful these character models... They have faces, and they have mouths. That's the scariest thing to me. They have mouths, which are just like MS Paint fucking oval tool put over their mouth.
Yeah, the mouths in the PC and PS4 version don't move either, so they're just like open all the time. It's it's so bad.
And like,
I love it.
Someone should make a video. Someone should put Cloud's like chibi face over that video where the guy drew the smiley face in MS Paint and made it sing Boulevard of Broken Dreams. They should do that.
Their bodies like snap in half. Like, their bodies look like they're made of Legos, and in cutscenes they'll be like trying to simulate that they're laughing over themselves or something, like holding their gut, but their entire upper body will just detach from their lower body, and it looks terrifying.
Yeah, because they're just like squares piled on top of each other. It's like, so strange.
Like, Aerith's dress makes her look like a shrimp. Like, it looks really like it's just like 4 blocks on. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
All of the backgrounds are pre-rendered also, and it's just amazing because you have hyper detailed fucking like movie theater and then Lego Man in front of it.
I feel like the first game that really captured the like 3D model look, at least from what I am aware of, was Mega Man Legends. Like that game
was good, yeah.
Figured it out. Yeah, that game figured it out.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII didn't figure it out.
No.
When you go into
that's
battles,
part of its charm.
Yeah, when you go into battles, they turn into real ass people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I will ask, if I were to play this game, let's just say, which I'll be honest, I probably won't.
Oh, it's so good.
But I'm just gonna ask, just in case. What should I play it on? Should I get the PS1 version, or is
PC.
it okay if I get the like? PC, is it okay? So the PS4 version is pretty much the same thing, because I don't really play stuff on my PC, so PS4 would be fine.
Both have cloud saves. I think they have cloud save. Both have. I think they have like some of the enhancements that let you just like boost yourself up and stuff like that, like give yourself a bunch of gil and stuff like that. So
and they have like, I don't want to call it a fixed localization, but a less. Unless, like, they cleaned up some of the grammar. Like, they took out stuff like, this man are sick, or whatever, like...
Then I'm getting the PS1 version. What are you talking about?
If you play the PS1 version, be ready for it is very of its era to the point where it does have slurs.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
Nothing, like, too bad, but, yeah.
And a lot of it is, like... take it out in that way where it'll be just like symbols.
Yeah. God, the fucking Barrett just talks in fucking asterisks and signs, and
it's really good.
When you see Genova for the first time, which is Sephiroth's mother, which is like a corpse basically of it. Inside of a thing, Barrett goes up, looks at it, says, "Where's its fucking head? This whole thing is stupid. Let's just go."
It's so
after Cloud
good.
just had like a breakdown upon seeing it.
Yeah, Cloud is like lying on the ground shaking. And
it's like this is fucking dumb, guys.
Well,
I think that's right before the scene where they're trying to make Red 13 mate with Aerith.
They were like, Aerith and Red 13 are the last of their species, just trying to give a helping hand. And I was like, And then Red 13, he clears the air by saying, "I'm not into two-legged people." And it's like, oh, okay, well, sure. And then they're like, "Wait, you can talk?" And I'm like, oh boy. Cosmic Canyon.
Well, I'm exhausted now.
Yeah.
Niall, would you like to talk about something?
Sure. So we've kind of talked about the ongoing controversy with microtransactions and loot boxes. So, I figure now would be a good time to bring some whiplash into this episode of the show. So the ESRB has had a lot of pressure mounting on it from the government in the States these past couple of months. And they've kind of just gone and done the bare minimum so that they can try and avoid legislation.
Like, not even the bare minimum. I would say, like, this is a bad idea, if I'm being honest. Like, it's, like, less than nothing, almost. Like, it's just...
Yeah, so all they're doing is... It's going to be like the app stores on Android or iPhone or whatever, where they're just going to put a sticker on the box now saying... this has in-game purchases, but they're not going to differentiate between this has loot boxes or this has another 20-hour campaign you can buy. So it would effectively put, The Witcher 3 and Overwatch in the same fold, basically. So it's a very poor implementation, I would say. It's very much just trying to say, don't regulate us, please. We're okay. We can do it. I feel like it's not going to be enough. It's definitely not enough, I think, from our standpoint or from a consumer standpoint. But I don't think this is the last we're going to hear of this. Especially because people have talked a lot about the ESRB doing this, but for me, I'm kind of looking this and saying, okay, the ESRB did this, but what is PEGI going to do? Because that's going to be a big thing with... There's a fairly significant difference in consumer protection laws between the US and Europe, and this stuff is already passing through legislation in Belgium and Sweden. It is actively going to be taken to the EU soon, so I feel like we're going to see, at least over here in Europe, we're going to see straight up, this has, if not gambling on the box, it's going to have something similar. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised if... I actually wouldn't be surprised if this move from the ASRB winds up not mattering that much in the long term, because I feel like the EU is going to pass just you can't have loot boxes anymore. You can't do this. This is and that's going to force them out of games altogether, pretty much, unless you get the nightmare scenario, which is that games in the States have loot boxes and everywhere else they don't. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is kind of the beginning of the end for this, thankfully. Yeah. But not because of the ASRB's actions.
Yeah, it just feels like at most this ESRB move just feels like it's going to make teens who are still relying on their parents to buy them games and okay their games to just get more fucked, basically, with and not even in a big deal, just the same parents who would be oh, is the M-rated game okay, are now going to be oh, is the T-rated game okay for this kid or whatever, because it says that it has the loot box thing, which I read in the news or whatever, but it doesn't actually have the loot box thing.
Yeah. And it's but at the same time, there was a time, I'm sure, when all of us had to rely on our parents to go and buy us games. Mm-hmm. I don't think my parents ever looked at the rating on the box. I don't think most parents ever look at or...
Listen, I can tell you about my father who refused to let me get Shadow the Hedgehog because it was rated T for teen because it had a gun in it, because he has the gun. And he was like, oh, you're not a teen. And I was like...
See, the only time I can ever remember that happening to me was my parents wouldn't let me get Mortal Kombat on PS1 because they'd heard of it.
Yeah.
But if you're in your 40s and you don't know anything about video games, is an in-app purchases sticker really gonna stop you buying a game for the kid?
You're right.
I mean, and they did, launch their own, here's our new, parental control website. Here's how to enable this stuff on your PS4 or whatever. But, again, is that going to do anything? I feel like it's not going to have any real effect. It is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I saw the ESRB were saying like, oh, parents claim that they know what loot boxes are.
Yeah.
They don't really. So we have to tell them, and this sticker will make sure that they know what's going on. And it's like, no, they don't. You're actually probably making it more confusing for people. Like,
yeah,
thanks.
Exactly. Like, that's what I mean. It's like, you're gonna see, like, for example, I don't know, let's go with Gravity Rush 2, okay? Gravity Rush 2 has, I think, one thing you can buy for it, which is a $3 DLC pack. Because of this, they would get the sticker.
Yeah.
And, like, if you do perhaps have that parent who is, like, actually trying to figure that stuff out and they just see that, it's going to be so, like, nothing. It'll just be like, oh, well, shit. Guess I can't buy this. Or, like, if that person exists, I mean, that's, like, the worst thing that it will do. And there's no, like, good thing it'll do, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, at this point, what game that you can go into GameStop and buy isn't going to have that sticker on it,
Yeah, exactly.
Like everything has at least, like, here's some items you can buy or whatever now.
Yeah, like, and also, will it affect games that have free DLC? Like, where the DLC is free for it? Like, just because you can technically go to the store, the PSN store, and download it. Like, will it count that? That's how bad this is. I don't know. Because nothing they've fucking said, like, makes any sense or feels like it'll accomplish anything?
Right. Or even, like, if it's a game that maybe has, like, you pre-order it and you get a new character skin or whatever. Like, does that
count?
Suddenly... Yeah, or if it's, like, sometimes you'll get... Like, if you take the example of Into the Breach, which comes with a copy of FTL.
Yeah.
If that was to be released physically, would the fact that you then have to go and maybe put in a code for FTL mean it's an in-app purchase now or whatever? Like, it's such a mess, and it's... it's...
Yeah,
it's
no,
so well
it's
thought out. Like,
that's... I mean, I understand why the hellish corporations would not want regulation, but also, like, you'd think at a certain point they would bend over and be like, okay, we'll do, like, the bare minimum regulation, and, like, they can't even do that. Like, they can't even, like, just be like, okay, we're doing this so then people can't argue with us anymore, or something like that. Yeah. I don't know what they want. They're just really dumb.
That's America for you.
Sure is. They can take away my Mobage. I don't care.
It would probably be better for all of us if
really
they took away the Mobage.
My friend was actually talking about... Do you know about, like, the laws they had to go through in Japan for Mobage stuff?
No.
Okay. You know how in these games you get, like, as you spend more and more, you eventually get a guaranteed character of a certain rating and stuff like that?
Sure.
Like, Overwatch does the same thing. I think, like, at a certain point, you get the pity timer for the legendary loot boxes and stuff like that. That did not exist in Japan until 2 years ago. Before that, the most famous one is Grand Blue got taken to court because people were spending thousands of dollars and not getting the character for the, like, quote unquote, like, oh, this is the event. If you spend money on this, you get the character. And people were spending thousands and not getting it. And then they find out, like, oh, actually, the more you spend, the lower the rate was going. So they could keep getting your money. So they eventually had to make it so that you were guaranteed and do a lot of, like, Grand Blue specifically was imposed. You have to give them the opportunity to just buy a character. But yeah, that's I'm worried that we'll get to that point in America, which we basically have.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten to that point already, honestly. That sounds like an Activision move.
Yeah, like, just the more you pay, the worse it gets.
It's gross.
Yeah, that's the system.
Niall, would you like to talk about something that you enjoyed, perhaps?
Sure, I can do that. I've been playing. I'm not finished it yet, but I've been playing a little bit of the Red Strings Club.
Oh yes,
which is that other cyberpunk bartending game. This one's a little bit more active, I would say, than Valhalla was. Like, you actually play a significant part in the story. You're not just mixing drinks. I'm only like maybe an hour, 90 minutes into it, but it seems pretty interesting so far. You're basically mixing drinks in order to bring out certain moods in your customers, which you can then, like, you know, you're making a drink to make someone depressed or to make somebody stressed out so that they'll give you the information you want when you're interrogating them. I really like the soundtrack. I really like the way it looks. Kinda not entirely sold on the writing just yet. Like, it feels very much like... So you have, like, this android who is helping you out in your bar, and then after each conversation, we'll say, when the person leaves the bar, the android will be like, I'm gonna give you a quiz on whether you're perceptive about this person and their personality, and if you get it right, you'll get, like, some item or whatever. So it feels very much like the last question is always, in your opinion, what do you think about this ethical dilemma? Like, do you think marketing is bad? And it feels like it's very much just, nothing I'm doing is going to matter except these last questions. Isn't that going to be the way this is going to go? Like, even though you are effectively making choices and moving through, like, a choice tree that you can look and see where it diverges as you go, I can't help getting the feeling like the only thing that's going to matter is those last questions.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. The characters, there's some cool characters in there. There's a weird, like, demon smuggler man who just, like, appears out of nowhere, and he wears a skull mask, and he's like, I can get you anything you want.
Oh, word.
Not people and not weapons, but anything else. And you're just like, you get me some liquor? Like, it's so stupid. But no, I like that game so far, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I know there was a little bit of controversy around it when it came out. I haven't seen any of that stuff quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it is apparently a short game, so I'm sure I'm about to. But yeah, it's fine. It's good. I'll hopefully have more of an opinion on it once I finish it next week. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
All right. We have one more bit of news here. So, I'm sure we all have the PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most of us do if we have a PlayStation console.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a PS4, you kind of have to have it to play online. So, for a while, the nice thing about PS Plus was that every month you got a handful of free games, and it was PS4, PS3, and Vita. Unfortunately, and it kind of makes sense, but it's still unfortunate, next March, so March 2019, PlayStation Plus is going to drop the free game support for PS3 and Vita. You won't get any more free games on those two consoles. It'll just be PS4, and Sony has said that it's just going to be 2 games a month. 2 games a month for PS4, and that's it. That's a huge step back.
Yeah, like, so I understand why they're doing it because the PlayStation 3 is ancient. And I also understand why they're doing it because the Vita, they hate the Vita more than anything in this world, apparently, and they don't want it to ever even have anything remotely good going for it. But also, they just raised PS Plus's price like a year or 2 ago, didn't they?
Yeah,
it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They're going to have to announce something else.
Yeah,
some
they
new
sure are.
feature. They are going to have to. Or I'm kind of surprised that nobody started to push back and say, "Hey, add some more games," because that's crazy. I mean, they were kind of trying to spin it as, oh, we're going to try to get better games for it.
Yeah, I bet.
But, like, I don't know what the problem is. You're Sony. You have the rights. I don't know why it's, like, difficult for you to... it's... They're free games, but I don't know. It's such a weird spin.
Yeah. My worry is, like, Sony keeps doing decisions like this, I think, because they know that they're on top right now, and they can get away with doing pretty much anything. I think this is going to be one of those decisions, and they'll probably make another one in the near future that really makes people go like, huh. Like, if Microsoft or if the Switch somehow managed to pull something out that actually would pull people away from buying an Xbox or a PS4, I highly doubt that. Or if the Xbox ended up being good all of a sudden, the compelling argument for having a PS4 would be pretty much gone. Like, you look at, like, Gold, right? Look at Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah.
And you get games on 360 and the Xbox One, but also those 360 games you can play on the Xbox One 9 times out of 10 as well. Like, so you're getting like 4 games, and also the amount of backwards compatibility that they have over there that you don't have to pay a subscription for, because PS Now is a separate thing on the fucking... like, what I'm getting at is, eventually, I feel like one of the other two big companies is going to make a more compelling argument than Sony, and then, like, what? Like, what are they going to do?
Yeah. Yeah, like, already Microsoft is making a more compelling argument. Like, as soon as they drop the PS3 and Vita support, Microsoft is automatically making a better argument. Like, it's 2 games for Xbox One and 2 games for 360, but it's basically technically 4 games for Xbox One. Yeah. Like, that's more than PS4 is going to get. And we don't know what the Switch thing is going to be. I mean, if all those crazy rumors are true and they're going to do a shit ton of virtual console games or whatever, then that's even more of a step. But again, that's speculation, so, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
but it's like, still, it's not going to be that hard to be a step above Sony right now.
Yeah, like, the only thing I could see Sony even coming close to getting at is doing PS Now included. Like, that's the only thing I could think.
That would be, that would be good. But
I don't see them doing that. Because, like...
I feel like they might, especially with Microsoft announcing that, like...
Games Pass.
Yeah, where all their first-party games are going to be basically free.
I feel like it would take a lot more, too, because they're still on top. Like, they...
Yeah.
You look at all of their actions, you look at the conversations had about crossplay and stuff like that, and they are incredibly cocky at being on the top, that they do not want to do anything that would even slightly, like, cut their profits or anything like that. So I feel like what it would take is, like, they lose that. I have to imagine PS Now does not have that big of a user base, if I'm being honest. It would take, like, that getting even lower for them to really, I think, be like, okay, toss it on Plus. Because, man.
Yeah. It's a bit of a mess. And, you know, like, I guess all I would say is, you know, speak up, tell Sony, hey, I don't think this is worth the money, and see what happens, because I agree. Like, I think this is they're just removing options and not replacing it with anything else, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing that's pissed me off about PS Plus is, like, the online, like, it got better than the PS3s, but that wasn't even because necessarily of that. It was the PS3 launched with not the intent to be an online console, like, and they sort of, like, hammered that together, and that's why it was so rough. Like, the PS4 does not need as much money for how little options Sony consistently gives you for it, like the inability to change your name, how, like, convoluted it is to access ulterior things, how many extra packages you have to put on compared to Xbox, for example. Like, it's just
how slow the download speeds still are.
Yeah.
And then, like, you look at, like, Xbox Live, and, like, granted, I think not a lot of us would use it, but, like, the fact that you can just put your TV stuff through it and stuff like that, and, like, make that work. Whereas with Sony, you literally have to buy a new cable plan for it. With PS View and all that stuff. Like, it's so, like...
Well, I mean, to be fair, PS View is cheaper than cable.
It is, sure, but, like, I feel like people who would be using cable would be also using cable. Like,
I guess.
people who would be looking for that sort of thing. It's just, like... Everything Sony does is so convoluted and stupid. Like, I was already, like, when they were like, oh, PS Plus is paid now, I was like, wow, that's a disadvantage immediately. Like, that's gonna cut a lot of people out who would play a lot more games. I know for a fact, I know plenty of people I know who did not buy Monster Hunter because you have to pay for Plus too. Like, why would I pay for Monster Hunter and also Plus? Like, that's like $120 for a game or something like that.
Yeah.
But, like, it's, I don't know. It sucks.
You know,
Sony
we'll see,
sucks.
but, you know. We'll see, but we should, people should definitely, you know.
Yeah, ask for options. Something, like anything. Like, they can't just be like, oh, we're going to get better games because they've said that for years already.
Yeah.
And then we got nacked.
Yeah.
I mean, this month is pretty good. I'll be honest.
Yeah, Bloodborne and what's the other one?
Ratchet and Clank.
Like, that's good, but also that feels like them going, "Oh, we're announcing the news." Oops, here's Bloodborne. Sorry.
Yeah, and like the last 4 or 5 months have been really bad. So, you know, like 1 month of decent games that most people are already gonna have. Yeah, it doesn't fix that problem, you know.
Yeah, like I have Bloodborne already, and I just haven't gotten around to buying Ratchet. Like, I'm glad I'm gonna play through Ratchet and Clank because I've been meaning to play through that, but it's like, you know, I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out, but again, you know, ask for options. Always ask for more. So real quick before we move on to questions, Rose, are you ready for the anime minute?
Yeah.
Woo! Rose, I'll let you go ahead and go first, because you've been watching a lot more anime than I have.
I've been watching so much anime, and there's one anime in particular that me and my girlfriend have been watching a lot of, and that is Hunter x Hunter. You know the drill. It's that anime.
Yeah.
Have either of you seen Hunter x Hunter?
Not yet.
Okay, holy fucking shit, guys. Alright, so this anime is like very generic shonen for the most part. Like, I think like it's probably the best shonen I've watched because it just does a lot with its characters and it's really good. Fucking everyone always talked about the Chimera Ant arc of Hunter x Hunter. And they're like, oh, this arc's really good. And I've been watching it. Do you know how long this fucking arc is? 70 episodes. 70 fucking episodes long. And I'm like, oh god, this is so long. And I'm fucking 40 episodes in, and I'm just like, god damn, this is still going. This is still fucking going. And I was getting kind of bored, because it's like, man, here's 40 episodes of the main characters, Killua and Gon, just fucking doing, you know, shonen anime stuff where they're training, and it's just been really boring. Okay. So, they put out this guy. He's the Chimera Ant King.
So, hang on, though.
Yeah.
Sell me on it without spoiling, please.
Okay, I won't spoil. It's a very dramatic arc where it starts with a lot of death. Like, a lot of death. Like, it's the first time that they're making the two main characters see, like, just how dangerous everything is. Because up to that point, what they do is, like, these two kids are ridiculously strong and they're just sort of like getting through everything and everyone's always like, wow, they're really strong. But like now it's like, oh god, everything in the world is actually really scary. So it has a lot of death. Then the Chimera ants, which are like these weird animals who are people. Yeah, this Chimera Ant Queen, she eats people and then turns them into animals, which is like, ugh, I'm not even gonna get into that. But like, they're just like a fucking, like, there's a tiger who dresses up like a metal, like, fucking dad rock dude. Like, he's just wearing like a t-shirt and a chain and like he's just walking around. There's a fucking like, what even? I'm trying to think of some. There's like a fucking penguin who's just wearing a jacket and he has a fucking mullet. Like, there's just like characters like this. There's a koala wearing a suit. All of those characters are like killing people like over and over again, and like no one seems to be able to do anything. And it's like fucked up to the point where the queen finally does what she wanted to do, and she gives birth to the Chimera Ant King, who looks like a Dragon Ball Z villain.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, he instantly kills the queen. That's not really spoilers, John, trust me.
Okay.
And he immediately becomes this huge threat that is like, he's going to take over the world, and like every single main character who like sees his aura is like, oh my god, he's so strong, I'm so scared. He immediately takes over an entire country.
Okay.
Sure.
He starts setting it up so that every single member of that country is going to come and basically line up to be fed to him. But that takes a while, because you have to go through like getting all those people to come up to that and stuff like that. You have to like build up the fake idea that they are actually going to something. So they schedule a festival. In the meantime, he starts playing board games. And then he gets really into this fake shogi game, and he invites the champion of shogi, who is this blind girl who just cries all the time and is like not that like doesn't really know what's going on at any time, and he can't beat her, so he starts to have a nervous breakdown, and he very slowly is like, I can just kill anyone, but I can't beat this fucking girl at shogi. What the fuck? And it's just like, it's gotten so good where like all of his like his king guards or whatever who's with him are all like, oh, hey, so we're just gonna kill that girl now because like clearly she's causing you some trouble. And he's like, if you kill her, I'm going to cut off my own arm. And they're like, what? And he's like, fucking, what is wrong with you people? Don't you understand what it means to be the king? You gotta win these these board games, sorry. And like, it's just like watching him like just continuously just like freak out because he can't beat a fucking blind girl at shogi, and he just looks like a Dragon Ball Z villain, and he's just fucking playing. Anyways, every episode just has like half of it being him playing shogi and losing, and then like becoming emotionally invested in this girl. And then the other half is like people dying to these fucking chimerians.
Jesus.
That's wild.
It's so good. Like, I don't want to spoil too much, like, but like it's like a combination of like JoJo absurdist fights, because they have people with like, there's a dude with a giant pipe, and he just like keeps making ridiculous smoke things, and his pipe is called Deep Purple. Like, come the fuck on.
Yeah.
And it's just like ridiculous fights like that. Like, oh, this dude has a power where he pulls out a little tiny machine, and if he does a favor for someone, and that favor like is like willingly given to him, he gets just a ticket that lets them use their power whenever he wants. And that's the fucking tiger who's wearing the dad rock thing. And when he's fighting someone, and the other guy's like, huh, so we're gonna fight now, and he's like, oh, hold on, before we fight, let me put on my iPod. And the Tiger Man pulls out an iPod, and he puts it like in his ears, and he goes, this is my favorite album. And the other guy's like, shit, that's my favorite album. And that's like every fight. Okay, I'm sorry, I just wanted to talk about that because that's amazing. Like, it's just really fun because like the entire rest of the arc seems like it's generic, like shonen stuff of, oh no, and then they're gonna have to train to beat the king, and then actually no, the king's just doesn't even care about taking over the world, he just wants to win shogi.
How far into Hunter x Hunter is this? Like, is this an early arc or
episode 110?
Okay,
is what I'm on.
That's a long way in.
Yeah. So what I'd say about Hunter x Hunter is I've had the benefit of watching it with my girlfriend, and I watched. I think like the first arc's like kind of boring, but then like the second arc is like really, really, really good. and the third arc is too. But like, there's a period of like after the really really good arc that's like the middle, like 30 to 50 or something like that. It's would you believe me if I told you that the arc after an incredibly like complex mafia arc where there's like mafia and gangs fighting and stuff like that, it immediately goes into Killua and Gon go into a video game.
Huh.
Oh.
They get the Sony Joy Station, and they had a memory card that they found, and they go inside of a video game world. That's that.
So,
like, that was pretty boring. Like, that was like, But nobody told me Hunter x Hunter was like that. Like, no one told me it was like fucking they go into a video game. Like, nobody told me the Chimera Ant King plays shogi. Nobody told me, like, any of the... I thought it was just, like, Naruto. But it's, like, really weird.
God. I don't want to commit to saying I'm going to watch it, but...
I have been, like... It took me 5 years to watch it, I think. Because, like, I've always had friends who are like, oh, it's really amazing. And I was like, 170 episodes, huh? Yeah, all right, sure.
And the manga's still going.
Yep. Yeah, well, very slowly, but yes.
Yeah.
And fucking also, like, had friends who were like, watch One Piece. And it's, like, episode 872. And I'm like,
yeah,
I can't pick one or whatever. Glad I picked one. Glad I picked this one. This one is probably the best shonen that has ever existed. That is my hot take I'm pulling out for you. Everything now that I have seen it, everything about Naruto is just fucking ripped out of it. Everything I know about Bleach is just fucking ripped out of it. Like,
wow.
From what I saw of Bleach when I watched it years ago, I liked the first like 3 seasons, and then it feels like, okay, now it can end. Oh wait, no, it's not ending.
Yeah.
They're just doing it again. Okay, I don't care anymore. Like,
yeah, Bleach was probably the worst one. Naruto got pretty bad after a certain point too. Because they just kept like artificially, like, for example, in Naruto, I don't think any of us care about Naruto spoilers here.
Not really.
No.
When they kill all of the dudes with the black and red coats, literally the next arc, they all just come back to life.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now we're doing this for like another 30 chapters. And it's like, I think Hunter x Hunter's a lot better about it because it keeps like, they don't really reach a goal at any given point. Like, Gon's goal is to find his dad, basically. But like, there are like 7 other characters in that show who also have their own goals who we're working on at the same time. Like, my favorite character, Kurapika, just wants to kill all of this gang. He just wants to kill this gang, and he killed a couple of them. And then that arc ended, and it was like, well, that was satisfying, because he at least did like some things. But then, like, now it's the arc about Killwa's family or something like that. Like, there's a lot that they do, I think, that's a lot better than other shonens, like Bleach, where after the Soul Society, it just gets shit.
Yeah, after the Soul Society, there's like, here's some vampires, and now remember when, what's her name? Rukia?
Rukia?
Yeah, remember how she got captured? Now the other girl is gonna get captured.
Yeah.
Like,
remember Aizen again? Well, Aizen's doing this now. Aizen doesn't die in Bleach until like 10 chapters from the end, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I think I lost it when they just were like, where they were like, it's gonna be all those guys from the Soul Society again.
Yeah.
You're gonna fight them again, but now they have masks. And I was like,
Bleach was pretty bad.
It was not good.
It had a good start, like we said, but yeah. I think Hunter x Hunter just has like a little bit of a rough middle almost is what I would say, but like then it gets like, now I am loving it. I am loving this fucking shogi shit of like, I'm just loving the Chimera Ant King like going out on the cliff and being like, what the fuck, what am I doing, what is my life? Like at one point he's just like, hey guys, what's my name? And all of the knights are like, oh shit, what's his name? It's the king. You're the king. And he's like, that's not a fucking name. And they're like, oh. It's... And then, like, but, like, it's not just as simple as him being like, oh, like, I should be good now. It's literally him being like, I'm the most evil, coolest dude ever. What the fuck is wrong with me? It's really, really good. Because, like I said, he literally looks like a Dragon Ball Z villain. Like, he literally looks like Cell. Like, but he's just fucking... John, you've been watching a much more calm anime.
I have been. I've been watching maybe the calmest anime in the history of the world.
Wow.
Maybe not, but it's very calm. I've been watching Laid Back Camp. I'm all caught up on it. I've watched all 9 episodes. It's very good. It's about girls that love to camp. And that's it, motherfucker. They love camping. Like, that's all... That's, like... I feel like every 10 minutes while I'm watching this fucking show, I'm just sitting there watching these girls camping, and in the bottom of my heart, like my heart swells. It's like the fucking Grinch up in here. Like, it grows 3 sizes, and I'm just like, these girls love camping! They talk about how much they love camping. They go to camping stores. They take pictures of where they're camping and send it to their friends. It's just, they love it. They love it, and you know what? I love it too. I love that they love camping. The conflict of the show
yeah,
is that...
What's the conflict?
So the conflict is, there's a group of girls that are in, like, a camping club at school. But there's one girl whose name is Rin. Rin just likes to camp by herself.
Is that the conflict?
Yes, the conflict is that they that they want to camp with her, and she's kind of like, I don't know. And then, like, as time is going on, she's like, maybe I will. Maybe I'll.
Whoa.
Ooh.
But it's very cute. It's very cute. It's fun. It's funny. It is very funny. So I do absolutely recommend it. I don't think it's definitely not something where I have to be like, oh, if you can handle this being stupid, or like I rolled, like, no, I straight up, the entire show so far has been just perfectly pleasant. Nothing weird about it, nothing stupid, nothing like not even anything really, like, just unfunny. Like, it's just been a pleasant, fun experience the whole time. I have definitely enjoyed it. So that's John's pick of the month.
That reminds me, I watched the fake cooking anime.
I've watched some of that too. It's stupid.
Yeah. It's really dumb.
It's really stupid. It's just the characters from Fate Stay Night cooking.
Yeah. And, like, not even, like, with any ulterior things. They're just cooking. And then it's like, yep, they're here. Oh, let's call Cuchulainn this time.
Yeah, like, I don't know that much about the exact lore of Fate, but weren't they like trying to kill each other at some point? Probably. Yeah. But now in the second episode, Cuchulainn's just like, oh, hey, I'm over here to drink with everybody.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's basically it. In the most recent episode, they invited, like, one of the main antagonists to just come and have, like, Girls' Day rice balls with them. And, like, showed how to make rice cakes that looked like a Lord and Lady doll. And I just really enjoy the Fate characters telling me how to cook.
Yes, I do too.
Make sure to rinse the rice. Make sure you rinse the rice and then pack it densely and then fan it just a little bit and then flip it over so the warm parts are exposed. And I'm just like, that is true. Fucking God, Saber's over there. King Arthur is over there. King Arthur's over there.
She's sitting over there and she is hungry. God. And this is a little off topic, but I'm gonna call out a fucking Twitter account. That Saber Says Twitter account is fucking wild.
Yeah, that account's great. I love that account. I bought Rory the Lion Beanie Baby. Now I have one because of that account.
Yeah, she wants a Rory the Lion. She went to Burger King and hung out. Hung out with,
good.
Yeah, she hung out with the Burger King and she was just like loving it. And you know what? I loved it too.
Anyways,
we can't talk about Fate again.
No, we're done. We used it up. That's the budget for the year. We used it up in that one episode.
Oh, please.
Oh boy. I'm probably gonna end up fucking playing Fate Stay Night one of these days.
No, don't do it.
Oh god, don't. No.
Do you know about the mana?
My friend Rose, of course I do, and I am not saying that I will clear the air here. I am not playing it because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's certainly a helping hand.
It's no.
Look, next week is episode 69.3. You can talk about it then.
Oh my god.
There's a time and a place.
Yeah, there's a time. There's a time and a place for anime. The time is now. The place is here. Oh boy. All right. Let's move on to questions.
Yeah. Hey,
folks. If you want to send in questions, feel free to send them to our email at podcast@videogamechoochoo.com or our Tumblr, which is videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. Our first question is from Bloody Pinata, who asks, "What's your worst roommate story?"
Oh boy.
I guess I'll just say real quick. I mean, I've only had roommates once so far, and I wouldn't say it was necessarily like a worst roommate story. They were just dolts and were like bad to live with. So that's basically it. It wasn't like one necessarily like big event. It was just like, oh, these guys are fucking stupid and I hate living here. That was kind of it.
So I might have told this when it happened on the podcast, so forgive me if you're listening to an episode 3 years ago and you remember it, but I had a roommate once, and so he blocked the sink in the bathroom, and he came out of the bathroom and he said, "Niall, do we have anything to unblock a drain with?" And I said, "No, but I'm going to pick stuff up in the morning. I'll get, some Drano or whatever on my way back." And he kind of looks at me like, "No, that's not good enough." And he goes back into the bathroom, and like a minute or two later, I start getting this really strong fluoride smell. And he comes out of the bathroom a little bit after that, and he just looks at me and says, "It's done, don't worry about it." So I ask him what he did, and it turns out he got a bottle of toilet cleaning bleach, and he poured that down the sink, and I guess he thought that was going to unblock it, and it kind of did, but it didn't for very long. Like 2 days later, it was blocked up again, but for like a week, the apartment just stank of fluoride. And it was horrible because he had poured toilet cleaner down the sink. Which, don't pour toilet cleaner down the sink.
Like, what was his logic there is what I'd really like to know. Like, what was what should I pour down? Drain cleaner? Got it. Toilet bleach. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Did he think that, they both do things with toilet utilities? Maybe they're the same thing. Wasn't good.
Oh, boy.
It was bad. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. If you need to unblock a sink, buy Drano. Don't pour toilet bleach down there.
So, my story isn't really my story. It's more my friend's story. But when they went to one of those conventions, the anime conventions in California, I believe, they ended up doing one of those, I don't think it was Craigslist, but, where you, oh, I need a roommate for the con. And you sign up with that. They got this girl who was doing Tuhu cosplay, and they were also doing Tuhu cosplay. And after the day they had checked out, this girl was like staying until like she had to leave, I guess, for the con. But my friend was leaving like early. In the short time when my friend left and this girl left, that girl decided she was going to try to dye a wig in the hotel bathroom. And she apparently had never tried to dye anything before. So she just completely ruined this hotel bathroom with like multiple bottles of dye. Because apparently she thought you needed multiple bottles of dye.
Oh boy.
And it just got it like everywhere. Then also had reheated a pizza and was like eating it as they were doing the dye. So, and then they just left the like half the pizza just in the bathroom. And like, it just sounds like, apparently like the bathroom was like completely ruined and my friend had to pay for it. Because they were the one who the room's name was under. And that was really good. So, that's my story.
God. That's
I don't know why
awful.
you would try to dye a wig.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but... Anyways, yeah.
That's not good.
No.
That's not good. Our next question is from an anonymous Tumblr user who asks, will there ever be a chance for Fable to come back strong, or is it dead in the water?
I hope it's dead.
I hope it's dead too. After seeing that card game, I was just like, man, they're never going to bring this back. I don't think Fable was ever particularly like crazy strong, like a Halo or a
No.
or anything of that caliber. And I don't see how it could stack up to the likes of modern fantasy things like The Witcher or something like that. Even BioWare games kind of stole their thunder in recent
Like
years.
Dragon Age. You talk about Dragon Age, people will perk up, but like if you were like, oh, they're making Fable 4, people would be like, alright, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, without Peter Molyneux, do you even really want...
Exactly, yeah.
Like, you need someone with a lot of grandiose bullshit ideas for that game to work, I think.
Yeah.
Without him, it's not the same. And I feel like that brand is damaged to the point that...
Yeah, like, it was already weird when they made the Kinect game. It was like, alright, sure, on-rails horse adventure. And then, like, they were like, we're making an asynchronous or whatever... Not even asynchronous, whatever, lopsided PvP game where it's like, oh, one person's evil, and you're like, how is this Fable? And then they're like, oh, also here's Hearthstone Fable. And it's like, what is all this? Like, what even is Fable's identity now? Is it like, what is it to anyone? Anyone. Not even just Microsoft. Anyone.
Yeah, and who's out here banging the table looking for more Fable? Like,
I don't think Fable was ever at a point where it was anything but, oh, this game was a disappointment, but at least it was fun.
Yeah.
Like, it was never, this is one of the best games ever made. It was just, oh, well, this didn't live up to what they said, but it's a video game, so it's pretty fun.
I feel like it kind of... There was a section of people who did plant the flag for that original game in that way, but that was more because those people were, like, Xbox diehards.
Yeah.
That original console kind of didn't have much else in terms of, like, big scope, single-player
and
RPGs.
At the time, I would even say that they had a lot more going for them, like, in terms of, like, competition. Like, they didn't have anyone who was, like, doing the same things that they were. And they had a lot of grandiose ideas that showed a lot of promise, but they never really followed up on them.
Yeah. They didn't take steps
Peter
with
Molyneux.
each game. Yeah, Peter. Yeah, it's a Peter Molyneux game. Like, and without Peter Molyneux, it's worthless. So.
All right, our next question is from Broadcasting from Vanishing Point, who asks, which series would use the Doom Marine better as a guest character, Smash Bros. Or Mortal Kombat? Also, if any major fighting game studios swapped series, who would you want to see work on what? I think it's pretty easy to say Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I would love to see what they would do for Smash Bros. Like,
every direction is a different weapon.
Yeah, like, I would love to see what Sakurai or whoever comes up with to put the Doom Marine in there. Especially because, if they're not allowed to use regular guns, which, I mean, that kind of cuts out one of the most iconic weapons, like the double-barreled shotgun, that is Doom, basically.
Yeah.
But, like, they could probably get away with the chainsaw, and there's, like, the ion cannon sort of thing from Doom 2016, and then, of course, they could use the BFG. But, like, I feel like if you put them in Mortal Kombat, it's like, oh, he could use a gun. He could use whatever fucking gun he wants. He could rip someone in half, Like, they could do whatever they wanted in Mortal Kombat. So if you wanted to say, like, what would be the best representation, it would be Mortal Kombat, but also it would be pretty fun to see what, like, they would have to come up with for Smash Bros. To make it a T for teen game, basically. As for studios swapping, so, I mean, it would basically just be like, oh, like if Capcom made Mortal Kombat or whatever, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Do any of you have an answer for that?
Yeah. Namco Bandai make fucking Street Fighter instead of fucking Capcom making Street Fighter, because they actually know how to make a good fighting game.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say.
So would it be like Street Fighter in the Tekken style, or just...
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
you want them to actually make Tekken cross Street Fighter?
Basically, yeah.
Like, they should have been able to. Fucking Capcom ruined it for them, the bastards. Ugh.
And, like, they proved with Akuma they can do it.
Yeah,
so,
they proved with Akuma. They proved with just Tekken that they fucking Tekken, every Tekken game almost, that they can make a good-ass fucking video game.
I love Tekken.
Tekken's so good. I'm glad that I bought Tekken 7, because I had only played, like, bare minimum Tekken 5, I think, and I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. And then I played a little bit of the Wii U one, and I was like, oh, that's pretty fun. And then I played 7, and I'm like, oh, this owns. Like, everything about this owns.
It's a really fucking good fighting game. Mm-hmm. I've always preferred, like, the Tekken 3D style fighting games to that kind of Street Fighter, King of Fighters, like quarter circle input style of game, but Tekken 7 is really good. I think I should maybe play some Tekken 7 later. I don't know.
It's good. It's you can just pick it up and play. It's fun.
Yeah. Tekken has always been like so accessible in comparison to most other fighting games. I think that's what Namco do really well, is that striking that balance between accessibility and like depth in a way that others don't. So.
Yeah, like I want to play Street Fighter V Arcade Edition just because they put that really good Sakura in, but also Capcom fighting games recently have just never been my cup of tea. I used to really like Marvel vs. Capcom, but
yeah.
Do you have any ideas, John?
I mean, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, like, I love Marvel a whole bunch, so I would say just, like, okay, this one's a pretty easy one. I'll just say, let Lab Zero make Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, Skullgirls is basically Marvel vs. Capcom 2, so, just do that.
I would even go as far as to say, make Marvel vs. Capcom without making Disney involved with it, almost, because that seems like, with that new game, that seems to be a big part of why it sucked.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, it's just, I mean, I don't think that Disney was necessarily the reason why that game sucked. I think Disney is the reason why that game is dead right now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that game would have just done what Street Fighter V did, and came out like shit, and they would have improved upon it. because the response was so immediately negative, and with how Disney is, I'm pretty sure they just shut it down. Like, there's rumors going around that that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite might be getting pulled from like digital within the next few months, which is absolutely insane. But I would also not be that surprised because Disney is so ruthless with this stuff recently. Like, they don't want their image to be besmirched, basically.
Yeah,
it's way too much, and like like I don't know. Because that, like from what I haven't played that much of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. From what I've seen, though, and from what I've played, like, the gameplay isn't that bad. It's just like Street Fighter V. It's a bad package right now. And if they had the time to make it better, probably by the end of this year, people would have been like, oh yeah, no, go get it. Just like how people are saying you should go get Street Fighter V now. I'm sure that same thing would have happened with Marvel. But it just doesn't have the time to do that. And in a sense, I'm glad because they shouldn't be allowed to do that. But it's also upsetting because, like, who knows if we're ever going to get another Marvel vs. Capcom. And that's heartbreaking because I fucking love Marvel. And Capcom screwed it. Capcom ruined it.
They sure did.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say just, like, you know, let someone else do it. I mean, just, like, make a Marvel fighting game. You know? That would be fine if it was just Marvel. Like, just let Lab Zero make the Marvel characters. I don't care.
It's so easy.
Yeah. Well, this is our fun Tumblr answer. So, you know, that's what I'm saying for the fun Tumblr answer. Anonymous asks, I'm going to Comic-Con for the first time and was wondering what your first convention experience was like. So, yeah, have we all been to conventions before?
Yeah.
I obviously have. I think the first time I went to a convention was a convention that is in St. Augustine called EXPCon. It actually closed for a couple of years. I think they just reopened it. That convention was small enough that I'm pretty sure I should try to have a panel there. I would probably swing that.
Wow.
Have a Chooch panel. Yeah. We should figure that out. Maybe I can get Michael to come up and we'll just do some stupid shit.
Do it.
We need to do a panel. Just Michael and I, and then we could like pump y'all in through like fucking Discord chat or something. Just be like, all right, everybody, let's talk. That'd be very stupid. Anyway, yeah, I went to EXPCon when I was way younger. It was a well-run affair. I feel like conventions like that when you're way younger are a lot more fun because you're more blindly into your fandoms and you're able to just like run around and hang out with people and be like, oh, you like this thing? I like this thing too. Oh, yay. As you get older, it's like, oh, I don't want to have to deal with these fucking idiots. You know, there's so much of that. And I feel like a lot of conventions end up just being, I want to stay in this hotel and get drunk. And, I mean, A, I don't do that, and B, it's gotten to the point where my friends are just like, we could just go buy booze and we don't have to pay for a hotel room. We could just all hang out at somebody's place. So conventions are not really that much of a thing anymore. Like, you don't want to go into the dealer's room because you have to pay, like, a ticket to go in, and you gotta, like, pay, like, everything's super expensive on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really that worth it. But if you get to see friends that you haven't seen in a while, then that's worth it. I liked going to conventions when I was younger. I would probably be okay with doing something with some friends these days, but also I would just be like, let's just fucking hang out. Let's just go to Disney or something. Let's just go stay at someone's house and fucking play games, you know?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But for Comic-Con, like actual like big-ass Comic-Con, then I understand wanting to go to that. Like, I understand, like, oh, there is a creator that I want to see. There is a panel I want to see. If you're going to some small convention where the biggest panel that's there is, like, some guy who runs a Mega Man fan site is going to talk about Mega Man. Like, no. I can look that up on Wikipedia. Like, you know, like, if you're going to Anime Expo or Comic-Con or something else like that. I mean, there's different problems of like, oh, there's way too many people here.
Yeah.
But that's worth it. That is still worth it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. How about you, Rose?
My first convention, I went as an Akatsuki group cosplay for Naruto. Because I wanted to listen. I won't get too deep into this, but I wanted to be the pretty boy one for reasons we can only infer. And that was like a nightmare. I think that was just me and my friends being like, oh yeah, Naruto, also we're going to smoke weed because we're like 13 or something. And that was something. I didn't go to any cons after that until PAX, and I think, like you said, they're very different, but I like the atmosphere of the larger conventions a lot more, because especially with like things like PAX, there are things that you choose to see, and it's a lot better than those small cons as we get older, because I don't have to worry about trying to make the fun myself. They make the fun for me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Niall, how about you?
So the first con I ever went to was called Airticon, which was the biggest one in Ireland. We went, like, the entire anime club at my college went.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was there with, like, my three best friends from the club at that point, and we walked around the dealer's room on, like, we got there really late on the Friday, so we just the four of us just kind of sat there eating, like, upstairs in, like, away from everybody. And then the Saturday morning, we walked around the dealer's room. We went to see one panel, which was a voice actress. I can't remember her name, but it was really bad and really boring. And then we tried to leave after that panel, but we wound up staying for the AMVs.
The
AMV showcase, which we had to, like, get the fuck out of there, like, during that. And then we went into Dublin, into the city, and we did not go back to the con for that whole weekend. And that was my first con experience. We just walked around the city, basically.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was better than what that con
would have happened.
was. Yeah.
Man.
I haven't been to too many cons, cause
I'd imagine over there it's
like the
rougher.
local one is like the local one at the, like, college I went to maybe attracts like a couple hundred people, and it's all in, like, one big room.
Yeah.
Like literally like the basketball court in there, and it's fine, but it's a very, very small con, so it's like I've seen everything in an hour, you know.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
kind of thing. So it's not worth going every year, really, unless you're meeting people there, or you know something is happening with one of the guests that you want to see or whatever. I don't know if they actually got him, but one of my friends was on the committee for a few years for the local one, and I remember him telling me, I think it was around this time last year, that they were trying to get John St. John for the convention. I don't know if they got him, but I hope they did. They probably didn't, because if they had gotten John St. John, I would have been there to get him to say hi to John, but God.
I would have pissed myself if I just got, like, a fucking phone call from an Irish telephone and just been like, hello, John. Your buddy Niall told me that you love Duke Nukem. Well, it's me, baby. I would have been like, oh no!
I would have had him, like, record a bumper for this podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
Every week it would have been like, I'm Duke Nukem, and I love Chooch.
I love video game choo-choo, baby. God. Who would have been like, this podcast just besmirched my good name?
We could have had him on. He could have been a guest.
He should have been. He really should. He should be, you know?
Yeah, we should look into that.
Yeah. Absolutely. An anonymous Tumblr user asks, general opinion on nobody wearing pants in the Monsters, Inc. world in Kingdom Hearts 3.
I mean, that's just like when you like so in Kingdom Hearts when they go to the world, they match the attire or appearances of everyone else in that world, and I don't see anyone in the fucking Monsters Inc. world wearing pants. So
Goofy and Donald already don't.
that fucking octopus crab, that crab man, he's a crab. Yeah, the crab man from Monsters Inc. He doesn't wear any fucking pants. He just wears a jacket.
No. Yeah.
Sully doesn't wear anything. Mike doesn't wear anything.
Most of them don't.
Randall doesn't wear anything.
Yeah. There's no shame to hide. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's true. They don't have... Sora is quite literally crotchless there.
Yeah. Going back to the last episode there. Shoeless asks, which classic or current Disney property would you least want to get your ass kicked by?
The Lion King.
They just maul you, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Stitch from Lilo and Stitch would probably
love
just...
him.
I mean, yeah, he's great, but like if he was trying to kill me, I would be done.
Yeah, that's true. Frozen, because I could never live it down.
That's true, yeah. All good answers. Another anonymous Tumblr user asks, how many hot dogs can Shadow the Hedgehog eat at once?
Easy question. Okay, so first of all, he can use Chaos Control, so he freezes time, so he could theoretically eat as many hot dogs as possible. Like, you could, he could eat every hot dog in the world in that time, and that would technically be one moment.
Okay.
Can he swallow hot dogs whole? Does he have that power?
Yes, I've seen Sonic do it, and Shadow is the ultimate life form, which means he's better than Sonic, so...
Okay.
Thanks you for your input, Rose.
This is my TED Talk.
Thank you so much, Rose. Okay, another anonymous Tumblr user asks, fuck, marry, kill Hideo Kojima, Kamiya, and Yoko Taro. I have my answer.
I have my answer, too.
I think it would be fuck Kamiya, marry Yoko Taro, kill Kojima, I think.
Wow, okay. Mine's kill Kojima, marry Kamiya, and then fuck Yoko Taro.
I think I agree with Rose.
Yeah, I think Kamiya is like the ultimate husband, is my take, like just based on seeing him and like how he acts. Every day you'd get to like, he'd point to his phone and say, honey, can you believe this? On Twitter, they misspelled it Platina Games. Can you believe this?
Blocked.
Platina Games. Unbelievable. Blocked. Haha, I love you.
See,
do you think if you got divorced from Kamiya, he'd just be like blocked?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, cause see, I would be too worried to like piss him off or something, you know.
Oh,
no.
I think I trust him enough in a real scenario of love and romance.
And I don't know. I feel like Yoko Taro and I would just like click a bit better, and like we would just have a good, strong relationship. Kamiya, like, just boom, we're good. Like that night of passion would be an experience.
A non-stop infinite climax.
I guess, yeah. I mean, you know, if he really knows what he's talking about, then there you go. I love that we're all just like, yeah, no to Kojima.
Bye.
I would pick kill Kojima just to not have to listen to people talking about him all the time, honestly.
Oh, man. Yeah. Listen.
I mean, I would want to hang out with Kojima, but I wouldn't want to do anything past
I just want,
that.
I want to case the joint before I ice him. Just like, check in.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, and then we have one more question. This one wasn't sent in, but our friend M from the cutting room floor asked in our Discord server, specifically to me, how many anime titty figurines do I own? Well, okay, so M did clarify and said that the term anime titty is loose because I don't really have any, like, horny figurines. I don't have anything that's, like, you know, like, I have some figurines of girls that I think are cute, but not really that many. If, like, I have the Sega Saturn one. She's cute. She's the Nendoroid. I have the Figma of Aegis. I have the one where she's in like her battle attire. That one's pretty cool. I have the Elizabeth figure as well from Persona 3, so I have a lot of Persona stuff. I think that might be the only, like, girls that I have, though. Yeah, I think those are the only girls that I own. Other ones that I have, though, I do have Thanatos, the Persona, to match Elizabeth, which is really nice. Yeah, that's a really cool figure. I have a mass production Ava, which is pretty cool. And I have that shitty Mewtwo figure that I want to get rid of because it kind of sucks. So I can buy the Pokken Tournament one because that one's actually cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess that does it. Unless y'all want to talk about your figure. Unless y'all want to talk about your figures.
I don't have any. I have plushies mostly. I have a Ryuko plushie and I have a Proto Man plushie. That's all I got.
I have a plushie of the mascot for AIM Instant Messenger. So
of course you do, and you know what? I respect you for it.
You got mail.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that should do it for this episode. This is a long one. Whew.
Yeah, this might be the longest non-game of the year we've done in a while.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Well, I'll wrap it up. Please follow us on social media at VGCC on Twitter, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com on Tumblr. Join our Discord server at thegamezone.zone. You type that into your web browser, that'll bring you to it. I'd also like to ask you to go on iTunes and rate and review us, and also retweet and reblog and otherwise share any of our articles, because we need the attention. Really do. And finally, I'd like to thank Melt Channel for our theme song, Crush. Almost forgot it. Crush, off of the album Magic is Real. Go to meltchannel.bandcamp.com to listen to more of their music. It's really good, I promise. And that should do it for this episode of the podcast. Oh, one more thing before I forget. I almost forgot. I can't believe I almost forgot this. Next week's episode is episode 69-3. So if you listen to this, I mean, we're going to give a heads up too on social media, but send in your questions about love and sex, because we will answer your questions. That'll be what our question segment is about. Don't send in shit about video games. None of that kitty shit. We're gonna be about real love and real sex. That's what's going on Video Game Choo Choo next week. So send in your questions about that next week and we'll answer them. Alright. Now that's it for the podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Good night.